Thanks for tuning in to The Solution Is You. I appreciate each of you for taking time to visit with me here on my channel. If you enjoy my content, then make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. With that, let's go ahead and get into today's subject. Now, today's topic is why are we even together? So, this has a lot to do with relationships. If you are in a committed relationship, or if you're looking to get in a long-term committed relationship, then this information is for you. This is for men and women. So the Solution Is You is a platform that I created, and it is simply means that everything starts and ends with you. So any choice that you make, any decision that you make, whatever it is that you engage in, it starts and ends with you. And so, as it relates to relationships, relationships are very complex. There's a lot of give and take. There's a lot of understanding that you have to have when you're involved in a relationship. You have to be selfless when you're involved in a committed relationship with your significant other. So, it's not just about you, it's about sharing and understanding the other's needs. So there's a whole science that surrounds relationships. And so many of us, we find ourselves in many situations when it comes to living under one roof with another person, or if it's just some person that you're spending a lot of your time with, you can find yourself in many different situations, and some that can cause you a lot of trouble. So that's why it's so important to have a great foundation when you're younger. And this is for men and women. This includes working on your character, building discipline, working hard and working smart, positioning yourself to be the best person that you can, understanding how to work with others, being thorough with whatever you attach yourself to. You really have to understand who you are and what you want out of life as early as you can. Then you have to go out and you have to put these things into practice each day. And it all starts from when you go out and you work a job. So there's a lot of building when you are out and you are doing something constructive and something positive. You go out and first of all, you're working with others. And a lot of times you are in leadership positions. So that means that you have individuals who rely on you to get things done. If you're not in a leadership position, then you're in a position to where you take and follow instruction. So you have to be a great listener. So these are great skills to have that can translate into a wonderful relationship. Being consistent, being a great listener, giving good direction and instruction, being thorough with your work, having integrity. All of these are great characteristics to have. These are starters for when you meet that special someone. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to have a supervisory role at anyone's job or even at a business that you start in order to be a leader. We are all leaders by nature. Therefore, we must recognize this, find that leadership within us, and we have to practice it each day. So there are a lot of small things, small treasures, if you will, that we collect in life every day, whether you know it or not. And these treasures are very important down the road. You are basically laying a foundation, a trail of success every day. So once you meet that special someone, you can open that treasure chest and take out all the treasures that you've collected and enjoy them. Now, in relationships, there are a lot of things that can cause conflict. The list goes on and on. However, I've put aside 6 main causes of conflict in relationships. Number 1, finances. Finances is very important and can make or break a relationship, but should not be the only factor in considering how successful your relationship can be. You definitely don't want to get in over your head when it comes to finances. You want to look out for the amount of debt that you have prior to getting into any relationship, as well as, this is something that you want to talk over with your significant other to determine whether he or she has a significant amount of debt. But let's just focus on you, because this applies to each individual, and everyone who can hear this message or who knows about finances should be able to assess their own situation. So when it comes to finances, as I mentioned, you definitely don't want to get in over your head. So for example, you don't want to take on, let's say, a family of 5 or 6 and you only making $9 an hour. So you definitely want to have some type of common sense going in and not create a stressful situation to where you're on the losing end. Now, what are some of the things that you can do that can contribute to improving your finances at any given time? Well, going to school and learning as much as you can, particularly in a specified field, that can help improve your finances by putting you in a position of specialty where you are in demand, therefore can command however many dollars that you need to get a job done. Also, if you have some sort of a business where you can have a constant cash flow coming in, this allows you having a consistent cash flow from a business, or having a specified field of expertise allows you to build as much cash flow as possible. You can stash away cash more quickly and be able to handle any emergencies or any issues that may arise from you or your significant other, as well as any children that he or she may have. So finances isn't the end all be all as it relates to having a successful relationship. There are many other factors that are involved. However, finances is an important factor. Number 2, control. So when we talk about control, we're talking about having dominance over your significant other. That means trying to persuade or get them to do the things that you need them to do when you want them to do it. Not necessarily allowing them to have the freedom to be able to freely talk or discuss things through, or be able to go out and act on whatever thoughts or feelings that they have. So this can create tension within the relationship. It can cause one to not make informed decisions and very reluctant to communicate with you and share their thoughts. And so this can create resentment. It can create trust issues and definitely conflict within the relationship. Number 3, sex. So this is a huge one and is probably on the top of most people's lists. This is one of the things that people cherish the most in relationships. Now, are you the type of person who gets yours in and then just goes to sleep and don't consider your partner's interests or needs? Sex is all about satisfaction and expressing your feelings physically. And there's a lot of sensation and arousal, and there's a lot of planning that must go into having a great sexual experience. And this is something that you definitely need to talk over with your significant other to see what their needs are. If you're not meeting their needs, then this could prematurely end the relationship. So, to make sure that you're both on the same page, just have a conversation. Just find out what's acceptable and what boundaries are in place. Find out what turns your significant other on and see what you can do to please him or her. It's all about conversation and it's all about experience and what's acceptable. You never want to engage in anything that's unacceptable or uncomfortable to the person who you are with. Number 4, bad habits. Now, a lot of us, we have habits that have gone unchecked for a long period of time. And so when something goes unchecked, you write it off as being normal. So you definitely don't want to be under one roof and you are the type of person who leaves your underwear in the kitchen. You definitely don't want to be a person who may be in the bed smoking while you're having sex. Or are you the type of person who likes to jump into a lovemaking session without taking a wash off or a bath? Or you could be the man of the house who let the trash collect and just waiting on your wife to take out the trash. These are things that can definitely become unfavorable to you and very undesirable and can end a relationship quick as it can start. Family and friends. So, family and friends is another huge one, especially when one becomes married. Usually when you go through something, especially conflict in relationships, these are things that you two have to work out amongst yourselves. So you definitely do not want to get your family and your friends involved in your personal issues. Your family and friends, they got enough going on within their own situations. So when you bring any family or friends within yours, then it all becomes a big circus because they don't have anything to lose, but you do. And so people are just always looking for entertainment. And so, it's up to each of us that are in relationships to make sure that we, first of all, minimize any conflict within our households, even though, all of us go through it. And there's no way that you can totally eliminate stress or conflict, but there are ways to minimize it and manage it. So leave family and friends out. It doesn't matter who it is, a mom, dad, brother, sister. Uh, don't give any of your personal information, no matter how valid you believe that the situation is, or if it was the other person's fault, or none of that matters. Nothing is going to validate a reason why you should involve family or friends in your particular situation, because it only makes the situation worse. And you never know what's being said behind your back that can come back and make you feel some type of way about your significant other, about your friends or family. And so that's just definitely one can of worms you do not want to open. So you have to make sure that you are putting your best foot forward and getting your communication skills together in order to resolve your own issues. So number 6 is communication. So communication is huge in relationships because it's the catalyst to determine whether you survive or you don't. When it comes to relationships, communication is huge. So this is something that is continuously learned throughout the entire process of getting along. And this is something that you can't circumvent. You can't, stay to yourself hoping that things will get better or go away. Uh, in this situation, you do have to be a leader and step up and do the things that you have to, even when you don't feel like you should. Things can only get better with time. This isn't something that's going to cure itself overnight. So, when you're communicating over something, usually something that you say on Monday will filter through and you will see the effects on the following week. So, don't expect anything that you resolve to be fully resolved, within a matter of hours or a couple of days. So, you have to be patient and you have to have empathy and in some instances sympathy depending on the situation, and you have to have um, a lot of consideration for your partner, and that's very important. And it's also important not to just dictate but to also listen. Listening is very important, and not just listening for an opportunity to say what you want to say, but to just actually listen and see what your partner's needs are and what their concerns are, and provide some clarity and resolution. So I appreciate each of you for joining in today. Please understand that the solution is you. With that, have a great day.